Great. One of the topics I want to speak on, and one of them went down, but we got the other ones. One of the topics I want to speak on was for what minimum buy-in is for each person that you interface with. You said like with your family, you don't grant them any like special status just because they're blood related to you. And I still think that I grant my family some special status just because I'm blood related to them. So I'm wondering how to like more soberly look at that and learn more about the fetishization of people because we are blood related or not, or chosen family or not. Or like what does that look like? That's one of the topics. The other ones are, I'm meeting a new person, Natasha, and the only times in the past when new people have come on without any context, they've gone extremely well. So I'm like, choose for that. And Gray, you're making a confused face.
Did you say I'm a topic, or that you want me to share my thoughts on the topics first?
You would be a topic for me. And
Okay,
I also want to
okay.
hear, from Cray around this other one. And I'm like soliciting for other people if they also have topics that they'd like to share as well, given especially how red Cray's face looks. And he's got a big old vein on his forehead when he's okay.
Well, the first thing that comes up for me is the way that special status granted to your blood family is exhibiting a preference for your own DNA.
What? So adopted people don't do the same thing? Well, come on, don't do this. So if you're going to attribute special status, if you're going to attribute special status, you're going to do it for a monocultural reason. Either they're your parents, they're your church members, whatever it is. If you're going to point at a subgroup of some kind and say they're special, then it's a learned thing. It's not in your DNA. And I don't understand what else there is to say about it. You make it's an I thou, it's an us them. You do this. Human beings do this all the time.
Right.
So do chimps.
Yeah, so do naked mole rats too. So what?
Seems contributing to an argument that it would be genetic rather than learned.
Fine. How is that going to improve your life other than you making more fucking science points in your life? Yay.
It satisfies an answer to someone else's question.
Fine. Then do what you want. I mean, if you look at your special constructs and you take them all as learned, that means you're not looking around for the right answer about who should be special or who shouldn't be. And you don't have an excuse. Oh, I treat her special because she's my DNA blood match. Blah, 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 blah. You just get to stand in the place that I create special categories. Me, I may not be conscious of it, but I can choose to have this be different.
I didn't say that was my reasoning, just that that's a reasoning that's common to humans.
Yeah, I don't really give a shit about why would I give a shit about the misogynistic, patriarchal
Makes sense that you aren't the one that asked the question then.
Next.
So what's the minimum buy-in that you offer in this? Oh yeah, and I'm still fine if we want to go for topics versus going into them, or we could go on this particular topics that have been surfaced too.
So maybe I would at least say, Alton, I'm most curious why this is a topic of interest for you.
I'm considering whether or not to go to my mom's birthday.
Okay, that I find an interesting question.
Just do a cost-benefit analysis. It's not that hard.
There's a lot of like value in opaqueness in Asian culture, especially. So I don't actually know what the upside is for. I mean, she tells me it means a lot to her.
No, you don't. No. You have no idea what's really happening with her. She may hate you, and she's just really good at covering it up. And she never wants to see you again. But oh my God, that fucking little bastard did the appropriate thing and showed up for my birthday one more fucking time. But I'm gonna have to put on, hi, Alton. Oh, I'm so happy you're here. You don't know. You have to look at your own cost benefits. If you don't go to your mother's birthday, what's the price? I can't believe I'm talking like this.
And it seems to me, Alton, that for instance, how your mother feels about it is one of your benefits.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know.
I mean, she like fronted a lot of effort in like raising me as a child. I'm like, and carrying, I'm like, that seems yummy. And that seems like a pro-social thing to do to,
And it
I'm gonna
seems to me,
check my
Craig,
email.
it seems to me, Craig, that for you it would not be particularly important how your mother, God bless her, I guess, would feel a couple decades ago, whether you would show up at her birthday.
Oh no, I mean she said I'm dying of cancer. Your sisters have families, you're by yourself. Would you please come back and take care of me? And I
Sure,
said
that's what
I'll
she
leave
said, but
tomorrow
like,
morning.
did you care about how she felt?
I didn't think I cared about what she said. I had no idea
Okay.
what she really felt.
Okay. Yeah.
I have no idea.
And I agree that I will never know. Most of the time, I have a trouble figuring out how I feel, so I wouldn't dare to assume that I know how other people feel. But that doesn't mean I can't care about it. So one aspect is you care about how your mom feels. What else goes into for you whether or not to go to the birthday? Alton.
how painful it is to be around a family that seems to value a lot of like guilt patterns and or shame
Wow.
patterns. And I'm like, oh, this is very painful in here. I don't know if I want to expose myself to this, but they really value it. And they certainly supported me in many different ways when I was a kid. But I'm not a kid right now, but I certainly feel sensitive in similar ways that kids might to like using guilt or should frames around a lot of interactions.
And can, can you imagine that there would be any version of Alton who could show up in that context full of shame and guilt from other people, maybe projecting whatever, and not feeling any of it? Where you can actually just be in that context and be like, yeah, all of these people are projecting shame and guilt, but I'm just here having a time and, being here.
I don't think I've honestly been able to think about that cleanly or like I don't believe, I don't know if I have a lot of hope about that personally, but
Mhm.
I mean, possible. Just seems improbable, implausible. And maybe there's some practices that I imagine that Cray would generate in that type of context to make that more useful. But it's like often cited as like the boss mode in life. It's when you spend time with your family or parents after doing a lot of spiritual development stuff.
And of course, the only other thing I could say is if you can learn to enjoy the pain, it'll be less painful. It's a little like what from last week, the being on the cross. Because yes, I can only imagine that if you went to the birthday and that is the experience, they put you on the cross, right? And like you may have to rip your arms off, and it will be very painful for a bit.
Yeah. So I will go as trigger practice, and then that could be the. I don't know how they're gonna feel about that, but I guess that's probably the best outcome.
But that doesn't mean that you have to go, obviously, right? I'm not suggesting that that's the best reason to go.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks. Those are my topics. I feel complete on my threads. I'm interested in knowing more about Natasha's presence. I'm interested in what has been catching Cray's attention or awareness and whatever is arising. I'm interested largely as a meta frame on this and how I can lean more into owning my own power in my life. It seems like every time I lean more into that, then I have a lot more options and opportunities that
You can't
make
own
my
your
life better.
power. You have to do something that to you is a demonstration of your power. You can't just sit there and say, oh, I feel more powerful. Oh, I feel more powerful. Oh, I feel more powerful. Oh, I'm owning more of it. I'm owning more of it. It
Well,
doesn't work that way.
And having certain people like leave the house and then having other people come to this house that everyone else like vibes with more seems like a form of a power that I'm exercising. by literally inviting people over here, or letting people know that their time here is completing.
There's Natasha. She's sitting right there. Okay.
Yeah. I'm welcoming her in. I'm like, I want to learn more about
Be
Natasha's work.
powerful. Do something that in your monoculture would be powerful.
Natasha.
Yes.
Saying her name. Great. Powerful.
It's a bit difficult, Cray, if you keep interrupting.
No, tell the old man to shut the fuck up. Sorry, Facebook.
I'm feeling so shy right now. I like don't even know what to say. I just feel like I need to like absorb this whole space before I have anything to contribute. But
Come on, Alton, say something.
I'm shaking my head.
Say that's crap.
I wish you could know
Oh,
how
God.
much juice you bring just by being in this space.
oh,
Great.
I feel like this will be great to like analyze later.
Oh. Don't do it. I mean, unless if you really like armchair philosophizers.
It's very entertaining.
I hope
do you
that
know-
we can
what do you
constitute
know
ourselves
about
as
her,
being much
Alton?
more than just.
Alton, what do you know about her? Look there's a bunch of pixels there. What's your prejudiced, bigoted view of what that is?
I experience her as very like open, wide-eyed, and like
And what do you see?
ready.
What do you see? That's your projections. What do you see?
I see her smiling much higher frequency than everybody else in this room. I see her making gang signs, and I see her laughing more than everyone else has laughed so far.
She's got a long, thin neck. She's wearing a t-shirt. She's got goggly glasses on. She's got sort of like a pixie cut. There's not a lot of big feminine juice coming at you. So then you look at it and you say, oh, what is that? She's shy. Okay. She knows her intellect. She's more at home with her intellect than her emotions. All right. So how do you get her? How do you talk to her? How do you talk to her bigness rather than, because the public face is going to be small. The public face, oh, this is going to be fun to analyze later. It's like, oh shit. Not going to be much into dancing with what's here right now.
I'm so nervous.
Yeah, and she's telling you that because in her monoculture, if she says that with the right tone of voice, you should back up. You should give her space. You shouldn't press on her. This is my prejudices speaking. She's not saying, I'm nervous, okay, hit me with a baseball bat, god damn it. And I was like, oh, I'm nervous, I'm small, I'm mouse-like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Given-
I'm not asking for space, but I guess it's like some way to
I guess it's like,
forgive myself. I don't know, like alleviate that nervousness.
yeah,
But it doesn't do anything really.
nope, it doesn't. Now she's having the experience of somebody engaging with something that isn't her public face foldy roll. Kind of excited about that, kind of scared about that. Nervous. Happy.
I'm curious your reaction to hearing that you might be more mental than emotional.
It's
More
not
at
something
home.
Mm,
She's not
I guess I
feeling
feel
it.
curious. Immediately I was like, that's not Right. I feel so like I'm not I don't have a very robust and intellect to be at home inside of or something. My emotions are what I know more with more certainty than my ideas. So there's like some sort of home in that more.
Certainty.
Ooh. It makes sense. I'm in my head a lot. Guess that's like its own home.
Is she
Interesting
one
that
of
you feel
yours,
more at
Rian?
home in.
Rian, is she one of yours?
Yeah.
So has she ever hurt you physically?
Yeah.
And how, and the look on her face when she hurt you, not when her super ego
Sure.
got hold of her. How
Sure.
did that look?
Uh,
Yeah, that.
what does that go to show?
It shows that that she's actually capable of being more than a chin holding, thought processing, you know.
Oh, I
thing.
know.
And so it's like, I think that it's not about doing the adolescent masculine thing and engaging our brain. Hurt me.
What motivates you to like bring out more sides of people, especially into the space?
Because I find what they bring to be incredibly boring.
What they initially bring or what you induce?
What they initially bring. And usually what I induce is pretty goddamn boring too, but that's all I got.
Fruit zester.
Mhm. And here we are, yes, all looking up at the teleprompters on the ceiling.
No,
Natasha,
so
what do you think would be an interesting conflict between us that for Cray to comment on? What's the conflict between us that you probably would at least want me to bring up?
Oh boy.
You're always pushing me into corners for your own sadistic pleasure.
I don't think she finds that an issue.
I think she may not find it an issue because you're such a small sadist.
Is that your type, Natasha?
Sure. I like, not too much pressure. Um,
Can you feel wanting to kill him, Natasha? He's
not for
treating
very
you.
long. It's a very like
Stop,
small.
stop. Okay, it's there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And you have editors that jump in and say, this is bad and wrong,
Ooh.
and we shouldn't do this. But I would encourage you to feel into that and see what it has to say. It's not Natasha, it's a part of you. If you can get into that, you can move on from Rion. If you can't, you'll just find another one. You gotta set yourself free, Natasha. It's the only way it's gonna happen. If you keep waiting for other people to make it happen for you, you're fucked. And so you can look at each of these people here and you can say, oh, what are my editors telling me that I can't do, say, feel? Because there's stuff coming up.
Mm.
You're not a barista, are you, Natasha? Please, dear God, thank you.
I just made an espresso today.
Congratulations.
My
I
first
used to
ever.
be a barista, but not
Yeah.
anymore.
What do you do now?
I do hair on people.
You cut hair?
So not much to do for you, Cray.
No, it's in a standalone shop or in a chain.
Nothing, just who have at people's homes when they invite me.
Why would
So
anybody invite you to cut their hair at their home?
because I advertise that as an option
An option to what?
for me to go to their space and do their hair for a very small price so I can practice.
Have you graduated from styling school?
Yeah, I just
And
haven't.
haven't what?
I don't have a salon that I'm working in yet.
Why not? Hello? It's not that hard, Natasha. There's nothing, you don't need to go searching for the reason. You're either not good enough or you don't like the ones that are willing to hire you.
I think second answer for the most part, and then depending on the um how do I word this? Setup and like doors and the places I want to work in and timing those.
How old are you?
19.
And why are you a hairstylist?
Feels like something I can enjoy.
Oh boy.
I like working
Okay.
with my hands.
Okay, internal family systems. There's a book called Self Therapy. Find it, read it. Yeah, Natasha, you're a 26-volt, 20-watt bulb. Okay, you're not burning anywhere near your capacity. I don't know why. And if you don't start taking some big non-vegetarian carnivorous bites out of the world, you'll live and die like this. What's that thing on the background there? The one thing that's on the wall.
The thing I
Yeah.
drew,
Why is it on the wall?
feel there's something on the wall.
Can I see it? Can you go take it off the wall and put it up to the camera?
Sure.
Or take the camera over to it?
How do I do this? How do you swap?
Just turn the camera around.
That's what I'm
turn-
trying to figure out.
No, just physically turn the phone around. Jesus. So, Natasha, go out and
Yeah.
buy colored pens.
I have those, but I'm a little scared to use them.
Well, so do you hear what you just said, Natasha?
Yeah.
That you're scared to use colored pens. That's ridiculous.
They're very intimidating. There's like so much that they say.
Shut up. I know that, and you need to do it. So it is 10 minutes till. So my request is that you get off the call, go get the colored pens, and spend 20, 25 minutes making something, and then come back and show us what you've made.
Oh my, that's actually would be really nice. I feel bad. Maybe that is like the direction I shouldn't go because it's following someone else's like
If you follow what Natasha wants to do, you're going to die unfulfilled, gray, mouse-like, and cutting hair. The reason you listen to other people is because they're outside of your box. I'm not telling you what to eat. I'm not telling you how to wipe your ass. Just as a little tiny exercise. You have 25 minutes. I'm not going anywhere. I'm here for another goddamn hour and a half. Go, let it be crazy. Don't do a safe
okay.
drawing. Goodbye.
I'll do that. Okay.
Goodbye. Not safe.
Not safe.
A
That'll be a
not
challenge.
safe drawing. Yes, I know it's for you. For you.
Okay. I'll try
Go
that.
away, Natasha.
Should I like
Come
leave
back.
this call entirely?
Yes.
Okay.
Entirely.
I'll be back in 20 minutes.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yep. I've been interested in how I can be less arrogantly disdainful and how
Kill
you see it's
yourself.
impacting. Oh, yeah, that's a little extreme. And how you've seen this impact my relationships in the past. Sophia Jean pointed out, and I have a stack around how like all the ways in which I feel my go-to is arrogantly disdain other people. And
Yep.
I think that it's okay. I'm like, yeah, well, can you let me know this type of stuff, Craig? And
You're doing it now.
yeah, okay, great. So how can I not, and or like, what's more juicy as an alternative?
Inquiry, not putting your analysis of what is going on out there first and foremost. The orientation that there is buried treasure everywhere.
Mm.
But because of your bigotry, you don't see it.
Right. So, well, I mean, I want to get to the bottom. Like, so why is it that I think why is it you think by default in the past?
Alton,
Yeah.
just go back through this video. Watch what you were going to do with Natasha.
Watch what I was going to do with her.
Yes. What were if I hadn't been here and you'd been on call with Natasha, what do you think she'd be doing now? Probably thinking about something that you said that all the signifiers is that you thought it was really important and she'd be thinking about something.
I was going to ask her what would be uncomfortable or terrifying for her on this call. And I would invite her to take some of those on. But I
Why
wouldn't
do
be
you
as
assume
directive.
that terrifying and that is the right way to go? Get in there with her.
I think something I notice in how you engage that I would say is something that if you found a different way to express it or a different way to engage with it may produce the type of interaction that Cray is trying to draw out of you, is to try to build your motivations out of your own desire for what you want to see out of the person, rather than try to facilitate something you think they will find like enjoyable or productive for their growth. Because I feel that that is characterized as those sorts of interactions, and especially those from Cray that I've observed.
So Rian, when you're looking at a set of pixels and you think they're pixels that you understand, that's the best time to say, wait a minute, let me check in.
Mm-hmm.
Don't assume that just because I'm an old white guy that you know how I move, how I operate, and what my value system is. I don't want to see anything come out with her. I'm just dancing in the moment. I don't give a shit.
I would count that as your desire.
There's no desire. It's like the desire of a second hand to go around. It's just, I'm just doing me.
Sure, yeah, we don't have to agree, but I'm just sharing my perspective.
Misa. Is Misa another one of yours, Rian?
Do what? No, I not to my knowledge.
The sound of heavy machinery. It's the AI come to get us.
Another barista. There's an espresso machine.
You have a chance, Alton. You still have Yoke in there. You still have Rian there. I don't know who the hell or what the hell is Misa. Sounds Japanese, but it's right here, right now, Alton.
I'm still getting a bunch of away frames of what I don't want to do. What you're saying is not ideal, and I'm really wanting to bring up what is more interesting or more attractive than running arrogant disdainer patterns.
It won't be there. All you know is how to be a bigot. All you know how to be is to be a racist. All you know how to do is be arrogant. You're going to have to make something up. You're not looking for it. You're not looking for the answer. How do you feel Yokin's balls?
Did Alton ask, why does Alton self-sabotage his relationships by acting as an arrogant disdainer and being deprecating and condescending?
It's not sabotage. Oh God, it's Misa. It's not self-sabotage. The strongest part of him does not want to be in an intimate relationship. It's not a bug. It's a feature. He can sit there and say,
for like coherence therapy, which is like the perfect. The system is getting the exact results that it wants.
Mm-hmm. Until you step in and do something different.
So you're saying acting as an arrogant disdainer is not self-sabotaging because you naturally don't want to be in a relationship?
The thing that's self-sabotaging is getting women to get close to him. His strong parts want to be in his room with his computer and his social webs and la 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 la. Look at the evidence. Doesn't matter what they say. Look at Misa. Look at the evidence. The evidence of a person's life. That is what is strongest.
What do you mean by evidence of a person's life? Like, how is that related to
How
acting
much
as an
money do
arrogant
they have?
disdainer?
What kind of relationships are they in? What kind of friendships do they have? What kind of clothes do they wear? What do they spend their time with? The things that you can look at and you can say, oh, look at that. The evidence. Alton can tell you, I feel this, I feel this, I feel this, I feel this. I think this, I think this, I think this. You have no evidence that that's true. That's just what he's telling you. You have no idea what's going on in his head, ever. Ever.
I'm laughing because Cray, obviously you have lots of ideas of what's going
No,
on in Alton's head.
I tried to stay out of Alton. I have been trying for 5 years. I've succeeded for the most part. Is I don't go exploring the jungle of Alton. That to me, that's not going to end well.
What makes you think it's not going to end well, exploring the jungle of Alton?
Because may I be, oh man, Misa, if you're who I think you are you the one who prefers, yeah, I'm assuming she is. It is, okay. Because I don't have your pussy, that's why. Because you're able to get him and you're able to dance with him in such a way that, this is going to sound really fucked up, his truth will spurt out. Okay? Uncontrollably. With me, he's always guessing. He's always like putting on his suit and he's always like trying to figure it out. You, on the other hand, can put him in certain situations where the stimulation is so something that you're going to see his truth come bubbling out, spurting out. Now, if you're not paying attention, you'll miss it.
I was just thinking, how is this related to being an arrogant disdainer? I guess that was the thread I was curious more about.
One of his strongest parts of who he is that he's an arrogant disdainer. Most people can look at it and we can watch videos of him, we can watch, and we say, oh, there it is, there it is, there it is, there it is. So a lot of people can look at that. And in our culture, we can point at that and say, oh, that's an arrogant disdainer. And so that's not a mistake. That's not a bug.
But
that is a feature.
Isn't being an arrogant disdainer, it can be maladaptive to a close, intimate relationship?
It can beat the shit out of that, but that's the point. That's why you have it. So you get to beat the shit out of your intimate relationships. So you make them go away. It's not like, oh, shucky darns, there's my arrogant disdainer again. This is the 53rd time that it's shown up this week. Oh, shucks. It was a mistake. That's not a mistake. That's a feature. His arrogant disdainer is part of the system. When he gets pushed, when he gets in an uncomfortable place, when he gets into a dangerous place, arrogant disdainer is going to come out. Because if he brings out arrogant disdainer, guess what happens to the threat? It tends to move away. And so if you're really interested, Misa, in birthing that, when the arrogant disdainer comes up, no matter how much it hurts, you climb on top of him.
What does it mean to climb on top of it?
Well, you can physically climb on top of him. You can say, you can't hide from me. I will take all of your arrogant disdainer abuse, and I'm still going to sit right here. I am going to get to the bottom of this. You do not get to make me run away because of your arrogant disdainer. And you're going to have to fight it. He's not interested in fighting it, given the evidence. So you have to fight them. You're going to have to fight him harder than he's fighting it.
I feel like that doesn't make sense because it's like, I don't know if that's the right response, because if you want to decrease the arrogant disdainer behavior, getting on
You know what a
top
racist
of
is, Misa?
arrogant disdainer does
Misa,
not seem like reducing
do you know
it.
what a racist is?
Yes.
Okay. What racist in their right mind is going to decide to change? Why would they do that?
Because it would be like, they would change in situations where it's more favorable for them.
Right, because something like Misa Misa is going to sit on Alton and say, if you don't give this up, you're not going to get the bennies. Now, the bennies could be that you stop hitting him. Misa, he is an adult. He can pull avocado on you. Until he does, you got free reign. You can try anything you want. Everybody is in their habitual self. Jokin's in it, Rion's in it, Alton's in it, I'm in it. And if you don't do something to interrupt that, it will continue on until they die.
Yeah, have you ever heard like the phrase, you can't change people?
You can set up punishments to where they decide to change.
At some point, isn't like it's kind of like a lost cause, like trying to move a mountain. Sure, maybe you can change someone, but it feels like that is a core part of their identity.
Yes, it is. You can't change it. You can make the price for not changing it really high enough to where they decide on their own to change it. You cannot change it. I agree with you. You can't change them, but you can make the price for not changing high, or you can make the price for changing really high, or the benefit for changing really high. Like if
do you have like
Alton
any
had,
like examples of like ways to make the price of not changing high and the price of changing high?
you're looking at Alton and you're saying, you know what? Those fingernails of yours, they hurt. Okay? I am not going to let you touch my nether parts ever again unless you have manicured nails. Now, if he really likes touching you in your sensitive bits, he's probably going to go get a manicure. But you have to figure this out. It's not like Alton's carrying around a sign saying, offer me this and I'll change. He's not going to do that. And it's scary because what you're doing, Misa, is then you're putting yourself up as an object of value. And you're going to say, hey, I think you're going to value this enough to change. And he's like, nope, not at all. And you're going to be like, oh, shit, boy, that just slapped my ego upside the head with the dead fish. You know, if you go up to Alton and say, I'm not having sex with you unless you cut your nails. And he says, then I'm going to choose another partner. Because right then he's telling you that for whatever reason, his nails are more important than having sex with him. And that's going to, I would bet $1 million, that's going to feel like shit in Misa Misa.
I somehow assume, Cray, you're not working as a couples therapist.
I have.
With these kinds of suggestions?
It's usually easier if you're used to flames, to do the hot shit first and just get it done. Just get it over with.
I mean, it feels to me in my head like military boot camp couples therapy, like, you know, like something
It
pretty-
is, but we're trying to get lower in the system rather than in the intellect.
Yeah, no, okay. Just like how hard you want to kick in the lower bits.
As hard as I can.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, Misa has a lot of things going for her. Why should she waste a year and a half with Alton when she can put him through a God, what do they call this in the Navy? Shakedown cruises. When
Shakedown?
you had a new ship or you had a bunch of work done on it, you would take the ship out and you would stress it to see that the new things worked well. And so she could probably send Alton through a 2, maybe a 3-week shakedown cruise, relational shakedown cruise. And he would either show promise or she would be like, next.
Relational shakedown cruise. Okay.
Got a question. Topic change though.
Yeah, not changing somebody, that's just ridiculous.
Not sure what the question is per se, but I had my 1-year anniversary the other day with Natasha, and she did not. She spent it with someone else, and then was very cold to me, and my feelings were hurt. And I figured that would be interesting to tell you that.
Oh God. Yeah. So you have a 1-year anniversary with a woman that you're sort of maybe involved with, and it goes badly, and all you can do is smile politely about it. Okay.
That's
I
not
think
like
Cray would say kick her in the, well, doesn't she, I don't know if she has balls, but like
in the ovaries. Okay, no, I mean don't know what. I mean, I suppose you would just in your personal life would probably choose to like leave, but was more interested in finding a way to like, you know, rise above it, I guess.
I wouldn't, it's, yeah, rise above it into your intellect. Yay, that's where the feminines like to be met, in their intellect. Yay. No, how do you get down? How do you get like, how do you look at Natasha and say, Natasha, this was really important to me. Celebrating our 1-year anniversary was important to me. And
she hangs up.
Then I would be walking over to her house.
She's on the cross country.
I don't care. I mean, fucking live the life that you want to live. You know, do you want to read the story about the guy whose 1-year anniversary didn't go so well, and he says something and she hangs up and he says, "Oh well, I guess I'll go watch some stormtroopers or some, you know, or some Lego movies or something." Is that the book you want to be reading?
No, I want to read the book I'm writing here, where we come to talk to see Mr. Cray here.
Oh God.
Got a lot of bound up fear around.
Yes.
And doesn't know how to allow herself to be relaxed out of it.
Well, maybe if you were the model of it, it might help. Where's the picture?
It's very interesting. You
Stop
might, I
it.
don't know how interesting you'll find it.
Okay.
That's Alton, you, Joshin, Rin, me, and some idea I abandoned.
What's the black dot in the center of your belly?
It's right here.
I know. What is it? What does it
Very,
say?
very, 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 very deep tension or grief or some
About what?
darkness.
Okay,
Grief.
stop. Take the colored pencils and go draw a big picture of that black dot.
Oh my, I have. Okay. Right now? Should
Bye.
I leave
Right
again?
now, go away. Go away.
Okay. Okay, I'll be back.
I hope so.
Uh-oh.
Hands.
What? What? So what happened? What happened, Alton? Pay attention.
I
You're
just
very
realized
directive.
if you were to put a wig on, you would be like a angry Bob Ross.
Right. Alton, when you looked at the pictures, she showed you all these pictures. What was the one big different thing? There was a black
The black
dot.
dot.
Yes.
Of grief, she said specifically.
Who knows
you
what it's
personally call
about, but
Yeah.
it's the one different texture in that whole thing.
Mhm.
So you point at that and you expand on it. You give them the opportunity to step further into it.
Mhm. Okay.
Jochen. Jochen.
No, it's just I guess the last few days on my end have been eventful enough, so I for now feel quite okay.
Joking, feeling relatively okay, and being and coming from that spot, pretty typical.
What do you mean by that spot? I'm curious.
You seem to be very even keeled.
Yeah, at the moment I am.
Yeah.
Two days ago around this time I wasn't.
Well, fine. Do you think that we're having a lot of fun dancing with your even keeledness? Do you think we're like, oh my God, maybe Jokin's going to bring some of his even keeledness? Maybe he'll explain something to me about myself that I don't understand. I am so excited about this.
Well, you are not. I can definitely tell that. But I hope I hope that I'm not coming here just to entertain you, Craig.
You're not doing a very good job if that's what you're trying
Exactly.
to do.
Yeah, no, I don't feel that that is kind of the I
What
didn't
are you coming here for? Why?
well, I'm coming maybe to be entertained by you because you are pretty
Oh, yeah.
entertaining.
Huh?
I have to be honest,
No, you don't.
but I am. As you are pretty entertaining in your
How
own
would
way.
we know? We
Well,
have no way. You're going to sit there and say, I'm
got-
going to have to be honest. And we have to take your word about that. We have no way of knowing if you're being honest. Why
Well-
say such a thing?
if you can suggest some kind of test, what would it be?
There is no test.
Exactly. So you either have to
So
take
why
it
are
or
you
not.
saying it? You could say, I'm going to lie through my ass this whole time.
Why do I say anything, Craig? I mean, maybe I should just be
Because
silent.
you think it's going to create a result that you want. You're going through that huge list of all the words that you can put together in however many ways and using the tone that you do. And there is a conscious manipulation there.
Is that what you do?
That's what everybody does. That's what human beings do. There are some people who have like word salad. They have neurological deficits, Tourette's perhaps. But for
It
most
doesn't match
people-
my experience. It doesn't match my experience that I go through a huge list of stuff and then
Well,
pick
yeah.
one of like it's maybe when I take 5 minutes before I say a word, then that might happen.
So when you're sitting here, how many languages do you speak?
two, I would say I would speak fluently.
Okay, so you speak too fluently. So at some point in here, you're going to say, oh, if I want to make myself understood, I'm going to speak English. That's a conscious choice. So when you
sorry, I don't think about it. I don't think right now I'm not thinking I need to speak English. That's not what I think. So
right, but there's a part of you that is. Otherwise, the other words would start slipping in.
and sometimes they do when I speak the other language. Then English does slip in.
Yep.
But it's not a conscious choice that they slip in. They just slip in.
It's not conscious to you.
Exactly. I mean, you get to see the result. I get that. Yeah, yeah. So what's
Much
your
like
point?
Alton is not conscious of his arrogant disdainer and what it's creating for him.
Yeah.
But that arrogant disdainer is based upon how something is analyzing reality.
Maybe you and I just have a different understanding of the word conscious. That's entirely possible.
It could be.
I mean, if you mean the part of me that's doing that is awake, I would agree with that.
This is the evidence of what you're wanting, Yoke.
I think sometimes I would want a bit more patience from you, but I don't know how to ask for it because I don't think I haven't found the words yet that would actually elicit more patience from you.
That's a good point. That's a great thing to strive for.
To try to find the words. Yeah, maybe that's why I'm so silent all the time, Cray. I just
If you
don't know
really
what to
want
say.
it, one would say that given the evidence of your lack of trying, that's something that you can say, but you don't actually want to have happen.
Yeah, I think that in your impatience, you are more entertaining, maybe.
Yeah.
So I would at least say there's value in both.
Right.
I mean, as I said, it's a little bit like boot camp Cray, and there's
Mhm.
definitely entertainment value in that. For me.
How would you apply your be bigger paradigm to someone who struggles with impulse control?
With what? Struggles with what?
Impulse control. With stopping themselves.
It's you know the sign that was above Auschwitz, right? Work shall set you free.
Mm.
There's a sign above Dojo that says have the life that you want. And in little tiny subscript is like the evidence of the life that you want is all around you. And so if you want to have more impulse control, for what, my first thing would be like, why? What is it going to get you? Not what is it not going to get you, but what is it actually going to get you to have better impulse control? Because if you don't have a carrot, if you don't have something that's creating a fire in you to take the really hard steps to change, it's not going to happen. It's not the answer. There are a gazillion self-help books out there. There are lots of. Now, look at her face.
I did.
Yeah. Why is that not on any of your faces?
5 o'clock shadow, I guess.
Okay, so what does it say, Natasha?
Here's the, oh wait.
No. Just tell me, what does it say? What does that black dot say when you've expanded? Just let it tell you. Don't try to try not to figure it out. Just let it talk to you.
Well, it feels like I don't have the words. I need to find them.
That's why you're asking it. You're not trying to find the words. You're letting it tell you.
intensity, extreme like muscle strain, like an oceanic like pressure, kind of a guarded hands,
Mhm.
um, and a center light that is pure and
Natasha, come back, come back. So in whatever you're doing, wiping your ass, getting on the subway, whatever you're doing, just ask yourself, how could I make this more intense? You don't have to tell anybody. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to do anything. All you want to do is step away from that mouse and say, how could I make this thing right now? How could I make it more intense? That's all you're doing.
okay, okay, interesting. That's definitely like con what's the word? It challenges my normal attitude that you
Yep.
very quickly picked up on. How can I make this less intense? How can I be the most unimposing?
Okay, so are you ready for one more?
Sure.
Go change. Go put on something, new glasses, new hairstyle, new clothing, and make yourself be present on this call in an intense way. Just your pixels.
Just my pixels. Okay.
Goodbye.
Okay. Goodbye.
Great work. Hmm. Seems you really value tuning people into their own frequency, as it were, rather than giving them something external to hold to.
Usually.
Curious what you see as the role or point of sort of lasting wisdom that are precepts that hold across individuals.
So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to lift up her character suit so that she has a little bit of space between what her primal character is and who she thinks of as herself. I'm trying to get her to de-self-identify with parts of her primal character. It's a lot easier with the feminine than it is with the masculine.
Does your answer change if you apply it to all people you interact with, not just her?
I think that, to me, in my opinion, the only way that we're going to get out of the mess that our self-identification with our primal characters is through de-self-identification. That's the only way out of this mess, as far as I can tell.
Do you feel primarily identified with intensification?
No. The people that the flavor of the people that tend to find me, or I find them, or whatever, is that they're firebenders. And so that's the easiest thing to work with. Yokin, on the other hand, that's an earthbender in my world. Really, really difficult to work with, given that he's done his airbending best to make a life for himself.
Hmm.
How am I going to get you out of your sarcasm and into your feelings? Very difficult.
Is there any deeper answer to how much should I allow my I'll allow this interaction to play out?
So how is this? What have you changed, Natasha?
Nothing.
All right.
I changed the expectation, maybe.
Okay. And why didn't you do the exercise?
Everything I own is black, gray, or white,
Do you-
or muddy green.
So if you were a different kind of person, you would have said, fuck it, and you would have clothed yourself in the colors of your pens.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
No, your
Okay.
character is not going to allow you to do that.
Interesting.
So, Natasha,
Um,
I know you like the high drama. Okay. Have you ever seen the movie Graveyard of the Fireflies? What is that? Help me out here,
No.
somebody.
That
Let
is
me
the-
check.
Grave of the Fireflies.
Yep. Grave of the Fireflies. Natasha, by yourself, watch the movie.
does that have like a theme that is
Yep.
parallel to this? Okay.
No, I'm just pulling
Huh.
something out of my ass because it has no reference whatsoever. Jesus Christ.
Well, maybe there's like some other significance that was
Just
connected
watch
to
the
this.
fucking movie. Stop trying to figure it out.
Okay, okay. It has to be by myself.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's the fuck? I have one for Rion too. Hang on a second. Ah.
What's it about?
Hang on. Mysterious skin. And that also, Rian, watch it by yourself
Mhm.
and don't do it after dark. And then after you watch it, if you can figure out how to share the screen with Natasha, watch it together.
Hmm.
Mysterious Skin.
What is that about?
Shut up. Why would I want to give your frontal lobes more grist to chew on? Rian's looking it up. He's reading the reviews. He's probably on Rotten Tomatoes.
Hate spoilers.
Good. If you can stand an American movie, Jochen, Mysterious Skin.
I was about to ask any recommendations for me. So yeah.
Yeah, I would start there. Oh, Jesus, 7:30. 45
Great.
minutes.
I want to summarize some of the main takeaways. I'm also noticing how much more quickly I get glucose depleted on these calls. So I'm wondering if there's a stance I can take that costs me less glucose on these calls.
Why don't you just
What?
get a drink to sip on?
I just had some cherries, which was great. And yeah, I'm finding it's like takes more lift energy or something to be present on these. I'm wondering what's going on, or like the makeup that you're hitting or you're cutting closer to ego character suit things. And
Yeah, maybe if you understand it, it'll change it.
yeah, often once I have my awareness around this system or the coherence therapy frame, then it stops having so much control over me.
Okay. What do you want?
How do you resource yourself in between doing reps or like this high intensity interval training for your ego?
You know, you have to have an idea. Like the people that come to work out first, they don't understand muscle burn. They don't understand failure, muscle
Right.
failure. And so you
Seems
have
like
to
that.
get to that point to where they're shaking and you have a hand underneath the thing and you're helping them. You're only lifting like 1 ounce, but it's enough to get them over that hump. So you have to familiarize them and yourself with that level of pain. That's the thing that you're actually looking for. You're not going into workout to build muscle to feel good. You should feel like shit the rest of the day, and you should wake up in the morning like, oh, I can't move my fucking arms. Yeah. Natasha, try to take that physical stuff and put it in an emotional frame. You have to go do something with Rian, and it's going to be difficult. And you're going to wake up the next morning going, oh my God, what did I fucking do? Jesus Christ. I'll never be able to talk to him again. So
Well, now he loves to try and make those things happen.
yeah, he's asking you to get strong enough to do it back. Because he can't do it on his own. He can't wipe that smirk off his face. He can't stop being an intellectual, sarcastic asshole, mansplainer. That's his character. And so he's looking for somebody who can tie him down enough so that instead of being able to have it go up and out the way he's doing now, it goes in and explodes. And his coping skills will try to make will say, oh yes, I'm going to do it, and then it's going to try to do everything it can to make it not happen.
Hey, sarcastic asshole mansplainer. I'm not sarcastic.
Yeah, Trump doesn't think he's a misogynistic homophobe either. Yeah.
A very sincere person.
I'm a sincere racist. Wow. Sincerity? What does that get you?
Trustworthiness in some lenses.
Oh. The idiots will trust you. Yay. Look, a bunch of idiots have voted for me to be president of the United States. Yay. Your trustworthiness is gained by what you do, not what you say. Careful, Natasha. You're gonna take a big drink of this and get really high. You're gonna come crashing back down to earth, and it's gonna hurt a lot. That's okay.
Of the space or Rian?
Like, whatever's happening in you right now, you look like your fangs are growing. Like you're like, I want live meat to chew on. I'm tired of fucking tofu.
Of what?
Tofu.
Yeah. No, I've been experiencing this urge to like go into something that I would not normally allow myself to. And it did get the after effects of, oh, what was I thinking? But part of me knows that's the thing I'm trying to work on. So just gotta do it more, bigger, more intensity.
Yeah, but
Just like
again, make sure you have really tight time containers, Natasha.
Mm.
Don't let it bleed out. You know, if you're gonna be on a phone call with Rion or a Zoom call, whatever it is, okay, you say, I'm gonna do this for 20 minutes. And you have to make, no matter how much he's begging you for more or whatever it is, at that, when the alarm goes off, you say, thank you very much, and hit the close button. Keep the time containers.
Yeah. Why the time containers? I like
Because
that
he's-
idea that
Because he's gonna try to seduce you into doing more of what he wants you to do without paying the coin that you want from him.
What coin do you want from me, Natasha?
No, if she thinks about it more than 3 or 4 seconds, you're gonna get some shit answer. Alton, you better act quick if you want something to happen on this call.
I think I'm self-caring now. I don't know if I'm going to be able to be much use for this rest of the call. I think that the soreness of confronting arrogant disdainer parts is probably settling in, and also being a request for others to also step into having the capacity to meet me here feels important and urgent for me. So I think those are areas I'm like focusing in on.
Be the thing that the arrogant disdainer doesn't want you to do. The arrogant disdainer is a coping skill.
I mean, doesn't want me to be what seems as weak or vulnerable or needy.
Then do the weak, vulnerable, needy thing.
I am by stating that we're not going to make it out of here unless if we actually grow each other in those capacities.
The weak, needy thing is, I want this to happen. I want the rest of you to shut the fuck up because I want this to happen. And my wants are more important than yours. Great, we're going nonverbal now.
Well, that ends it. I mean, I literally am writing that right now. And I'll have a crucial conversation on it tonight.
No, do it now.
Well, I also literally just wrote it, but I mean, as the headliner for the conversation would have about that tonight.
Just do it now. What do you really want here? That if you put it out there, your psychology would say, but you're not paying attention to what they want. You're making yourself front and center, the most important thing on this call.
Oh, I don't mind that. I have it. That's how I started this. I mean, right now, I want self-care. I mean, I want everyone to spend disproportionate amounts of bandwidth on solving my problems. I don't think that's like a healthy
That's your
net long-term thing.
kid. That's your kid. What does your adult want?
Everyone to put their own stuff up on the table and to bring it here.
No.
So
No, your stuff.
I have it that I'm handling my stuff. I don't.
Well, what do you want from Jochen?
I want him to share however much would just make him uncomfortable,
No,
but not
no,
someone
no,
to.
no, no. It's going to make him uncomfortable what you ask. You own that.
I want him to share what he's typing to me about.
Yeah, I wrote to you, Alton, that 2 days ago I got a call from my husband, and he asked me to pick him up somewhere. And when I picked him up, I found out that he had tried to kill himself, and I can feel my heart beating faster, quite a bit faster.
He's modeling for you, Alton.
Taking a couple deep breaths. Yeah, and that was hard. Yesterday was hard. Today is already much, much better. And I feel mostly in the space where I enjoy living, which is not a space of anxiety or pressure, but really a space of where my nervous system is just like calm. That's the space that I enjoy existing in. And Natasha, with your painting, the one where the black was just a little dot and then you blew it up, I was at least like, for me, experiencing, that was at times quite present, some version of that for me for the past 2 days. Like a sense of life itself is pressure. Like to feel the pressure to move forward, even in moments when I would rather just like that it stops.
So
And
this
then
is what
comes,
we're asking you to do, Alton. Because of the impact it has on him. Because of the impact that something has on Alton. The way it reverberates in your experience of yourself. His husband of 10 years
Mhm.
tried to kill himself. And he didn't. Jochen didn't know it was happening. Can you imagine what kind of depth of bomb that is? To look at your husband, the one that you think that you're the closest to, and you didn't know that he was contemplating suicide.
Well, I should add that Monday morning, he also didn't contemplate it yet.
Yeah.
For him, it came on just as surprising, I think, as for me.
Yeah. Natasha gave us a bit of herself in her paintings, not her thoughts. She did the paintings, then thought about them. Rian is allowing us to see that his sarcastic mansplaining intellectual is a coping skill that is killing him. And Alton's confused.
I feel stretched too thin right now. I think it's investment. I mean, too low
Stop
resource right
believing
now.
that. Stop believing that. What's the worst thing that's going to happen?
I mean, it just seems like I've already left the building, or like I'm dissociated, so I don't know if I'm going to get any much
No.
more of.
That's a coping skill. Your psychology is telling you that you've left the building, that you're disassociating, and you're like, how can I disassociate from myself? That's ridiculous. I understand it's a coping skill. This is too much. So my psychology is telling me, oh, I'm over here now. I don't have to feel this. In reality, you're still feeling it. It's protecting you from it.
Maybe I should add that my husband is now in the other room playing video games.
Which
Right now
ones?
doing pretty okay. Elden Ring,
He's playing Elden Ring?
yes. With
Hey.
the expansion pack.
Oh my God. That's not something I would suggest that somebody would play after they've thought about killing themselves. You're going to feel like killing yourselves when it whoops your ass multiple times.
At least I hope, Alton, that you feel something now.
Nice.
Expansion pack. Tell him that the old crazy man from Maine is impressed.
Since he doesn't know you, he wouldn't know what to make of it.
That's fine. I don't care.
Okay, I'll pass it on.
How do you make this more intense, Natasha? Don't do anything. Don't say anything. Just look. You could have told Jokin what? He was too much of a coward to not do it correctly. That would have made it much more intense. Give yourself the experience of actually looking out there and saying, wow, I really know how to make these things more intense.
I'm curious to hear whatever you may or may not end up deciding to share, Alton.
Really, with the dissociation is just a story. I'm like, well, that's. I mean, clinically, I don't know, man. Yeah, so I'm.
So kick
looking at it.
the disassociation in the nuts. Insist on feeling something. Say something to Jokin that reveals a feeling. Say something to Rian. Say something to Natasha. That kicks the idea that you're disassociated in the teeth. Hello?
Try rolling your
Kick
shoulder.
it in the teeth. Yeah,
Alton.
I'm
Alton,
definitely.
look
Mhm.
at Natasha.
Look at
Okay?
Natasha.
Look at Natasha. Tell her something feeling that shows that you're in touch with feelings within you.
Tell her something that shows that I'm in touch with feelings within me.
So, Alton, say this to her. I'm really nervous about how sexy a 19-year-old can look.
These lists are
say
pretty
it.
big currently right now. Okay, I'm like,
Just say it. There are words, you can say it. They are words, Alton. Alton, it's a sentence. Do you want me to go through it one word at a time?
I'm really with the sensations of my body having a strong reaction right now. Of
Stop it. Drop the baby off the cliff. You are not your reactions. You're not your emotions. You're not your meaning making. Look at her and say the sentence.
Present to my concerns around the gray area of where life logging is not actually something that would be the medium for this.
So, Natasha, he just paid you a huge compliment.
What did you say?
Never mind. Just never mind. You don't have to understand it. He's a life logger. He likes recording everything that he has in his life. And he's saying, I am aware of feelings I'm having regarding you that I don't want to put on my life blogging. That's the way I read it.
Yep.
Feels a lot better after you get over that.
Mansplaining.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit sarcastic too.
Wisdom. Not sarcastic at all. I'm not nervous at all about how sexy I find an 18-year-old.
Yeah, but do you find the waif sexy, or do you find the thing that the waif is hiding sexy?
Both end.
I don't think you have enough palate to understand what it's hiding.
Can you say the waif?
Waif, W-A-I-F. You come
What is
across
that?
as pixie, childlike, gender neutral.
It's only because of what she's hiding I'm interested in the wave. This wave.
No, you like breaking and ripping apart waifs. And you do it in such a way that
those aren't incompatible desires though.
Hello, Alton. Alton, come back.
Yeah, I'm finding this pretty challenging right now, but I'm trying.
I'm telling you, all you have to do is start speaking about things that you don't want live blogged.
Start speaking about things I don't want in life.
Mm-hmm.
I'm asking for like weights that are in between, like impossibly difficult when I'm already what seems like a very low resource state. And I'm hearing you say like, how about 2 times the amount of weights? And I'm like, that's not what I asked for.
Yeah, you're believing your psychology that you're under-resourced. I'm saying when your head explodes, we'll all know, yep, he was under-resourced. And until that time, no, you're just selling yourself shit.
Okay, can we resource around things like, so what are some date ideas, Craig? What are some great contexts in which I can integrate this more into my life through different like date shape activities?
Date?
Yes. Like how do I have more dojo practices integrated in dates across my whole community? I want to write about this.
If you can't do it here, what the hell do you think is your chances of out there?
If we can't do it here in on a live stream that's public, I mean, that's a pretty high stakes situation.
Then turn it off. Say, hi,
Okay.
everybody that's been live streaming this. And you know what? I'm going to put my desire for my personal growth and my personal lifting above your voyeuristic shit about watching it. So I'm going to
Okay.
kill this right now. And if you want to ask me about it, then private message me.
Uh-huh.
Right now,
okay.
you have the excuse
Yeah, it's
that
a great
they're
idea.
more
Let's do
important.
that. Okay, I'm gonna stop live streaming now. Thanks, guys.
Okay.